Hello and welcome to the 13th episode of the Prop House and the first episode of the wardrobe department mini-series renovation thingamajigger. We are kind of remodeling my sister's wardrobe department where she sews and everything. That's what we call it, the wardrobe department, but it's like a seamstress room. It has been this very sad looking brown for a while. I don't think the paint has been changed in... I don't even know how long actually. It's probably the oldest paint in our house at this point. Every other room has probably been painted at this point. And it probably has holes in the wall from a decade ago. So we'll probably give it a nice fresh start for the room and make it a much more enjoyable room to be in. So let's get started. And we shall past me, but let's start with some before footage of before we started working on the room. As you can see, it's like this brown color and just kind of drab and, you know, not very bright and creative. So we started by disassembling the room by taking all the stuff off the walls, the shelves, the pictures, the curtain rods, so on and so forth. Something that's a little annoying that happened when taking down this shelf is the right shelf, the right bracket, had different anchors in it, and one of the anchors, well, two, but one was actually really bad, tore out all the drywall around it. Then I had to repair the hole before being able to put the shelf back up, which added an annoyance time because that's time you have to wait before you can put the next coat of paint on or whatever, because the mud has to dry first. But after removing all the stuff from the walls, it was time to fill holes. Now, some of these holes have probably been here for 10 years. There are lots of nail holes and tack poles and stuff like that in the wall. So I wanted to go through and put mud over all of them because, in my opinion, that's kind of the great thing about painting a room is you get to kind of reset the room, fill all the holes and kind of bring it back to what it once was. So now with all the holes filled, it was time to paint the room, and it is amazing the difference that the paint made to the room just by itself. And after some frustrating paint time later, you get this, which just looks so much better straight off the bat. So now it was time to put the shelves back on. Now we debated painting these shelves like a white or something the bit less dark, but we ended up deciding not to because we weren't sure if, number one, the paint would turn out well. Sometimes when you paint stuff like this, it gets sticky, where it actually will stick to whatever you put on the shelf, which then could damage the item you put on the shelf and the shelf itself, or it chips a ton. So we ended up just not risking it and sticking with the black and just kind of, going with it, if that makes any sense. Now, something that I really like that we added to this room were these 3D printed brackets to hold her lightsabers on that she has collected. These lightsabers were from when Disney had the old custom ones that are a lot different to the custom ones now. But I really like that we did this because it's something very unique. They were 3D printed, so they're specially made for this. And they took about 2.5 hours each to print, just to give you an idea on time. I did lose the footage of it printing. I was going to put it in the corner while I talked about it, but I did lose it. But I really love how these came out and how it displays the lightsabers in such an interesting and fun way. And they only used 2 nails to attach to the wall, and I really think it added something very special and interesting to the wall and to the room, and I really love how it came out. Now this is something that's not on the wall yet. It's not a thing that's been 3D printed. We made special 3D printed brackets for small shelves to hold like figurines and collectibles, like little collectible teacups and whatnot. These took quite a while. They took about 7 hours each, and there were 6 in total. And since my printer's in my room, I don't print in the middle of the night, so that was 7 hours daytime. So that slowed down the project a little bit, but I really love how they look. I think they're gonna look great on the wall. They just haven't made it to the wall quite yet. But I did want to show you as a little hint, there were quite a few things we 3D printed for this project. It's something that I love doing, and I think Holly enjoys the nature of the whole idea of 3D printing items like that, especially for something like this where it's very specialty and kind of weird and adds a little bit of a charm to the room. And it definitely makes something unique to the room that you're not going to see everywhere else. And this should be something you see added to the room in next episode, hopefully. Well, it's amazing how color changes a room. It's amazing how just a paint color can change the feeling and the brightness and just the overall feel you get in the room. Sorry there wasn't as much done in this episode as I wanted to do. Just a mix of reasons why, biggest being painting, having to move all the stuff in order to paint around the room like a carousel. But I can't wait for the second episode. There might be a third episode depending on how things work out. Not entirely sure. We'll see. But thanks for watching.